It's a rite of passage, an adventure, a new beginning. It's growing up. So it should be exciting, right? I've always been dreaming of moving to a new city. In my mind, it's this grand and bright dream where I finally get to experience the freedom that I've craved for all my life. So, right after the last exams of my life, I booked a one-way ticket to a foreign country, packed up, and left. I was thrilled to be the master of my own life. When I was young, I moved countries and so had to say goodbye to many people, places, and things I loved growing up. I had no say in my life and I always hated that. So growing up, one of my main priorities was finding freedom for myself. I wanted to make my own decisions, find my own way, live my own life. And this moment was it. It was the chance I'd always been waiting for. So it should have been this fun and thrilling experience. But what I didn't expect was the loneliness. It blindsided me, and so although I was in a new city, ready for a fresh start to my adulthood, I found myself feeling completely depressed instead of happy like I should have been. Moving to a new city alone meant that I didn't know a single person there. I've always been a person that valued meaningful social interactions, so the sudden change in levels of social interaction impacted me negatively. Going from being surrounded by family and friends, people I was close with, to being completely alone was too sudden a change, too drastic. I felt desperately lonely. There is a difference between loneliness and being alone, but I was never good at both.
It still feels really lonely in here, and most of the time I don't even feel like getting out of bed because I don't want to get up and feel sad. Like, just talking about it makes me feel sad. Like, the feeling of isolation hits the most when I just wake up.
It didn't help that the city was completely foreign and different from what I was always used to, and that I didn't speak the language, that I wasn't in a school or company where at least I would be part of something. I was just me, a tiny human being in this great, big, unknown city that I couldn't call home. How was it that I finally had the complete freedom that I've always chased for, but yet feel so hopelessly sad? I was restless every day and I had no energy or motivation to do anything. I didn't want to call my friends and family back home because I thought it would make me feel even more lonely. I knew this couldn't go on for much longer. After all, this was the peak of my youth and I should be living my dreams. I spent so much money to fly halfway across the world, on rent, on being here, so I should at least try to enjoy it. I decided that I would have to find ways to fix my isolation. I made friends on online apps and gradually started to hang out with people. Even though these friendships were spontaneous, it surprised me how deeply we could actually connect with each other. It let me appreciate the beauty of meeting new people, something that I always thought would be hard in this stage of life. With more social interaction and connections, I gradually started to feel better. I no longer was always being surrounded by these dark and heavy feelings. In spending time with other people, I began to appreciate my own company as well, and I felt more comfortable being alone. I wanted to make a home out of this new city. I was living out of my suitcase, but I started to organize my apartment and unpack my belongings. I finally accepted that I was going to settle down here and make this place my home. There are still days where it feels hard again, where I feel like I don't know what I'm doing with my life, where I wonder if this is right, where I feel alone in the world. But I have come to accept these ups and downs. I've always thought the human experience was beautiful, including all its highs and lows, its challenges and rewards. I choose to embrace youth and the freedom it brings, along with its risks. I choose to embrace myself, this transcendental moment in my life that only exists once. This transition into adulthood. I choose to live in the now.